So I'm going to give you a bit of a description of what I've cut for Inaya before we assemble it. This is going to be the lining of the topper portion. Okay, and the size that I've cut this is I've got to put a zip in, and I'm going to taper it obviously to size, but I've cut like a rough cutting out of 15 inches at the waistline. The length of this I've kept 16 inches, and I've cut 2 of these pieces. So 16, and then I've slightly wasted on the waistline. I've narrowed it down and given it like a curve. So on the upper chest area, just under the armhole, I've done it as 16 inches. The waist I've done 14 inches, and the hip area I've done 15 inches. The armhole itself I've cut like 5.5 inches long, and then just on top of the shoulder is 10 inches, and the shoulder area is 2.5 inches on either side, and then the neck area in the center is about 6 inches. So these are two cut equal pieces, and then for the back I've cut the identical with one in the chiffon, which is going to be the top lining. Now I am going to cut into this, and I'm going to put a zip in the back, a white zip in the back or a pink zip, whichever I can find. Okay, so we're going to put a zip in at the back. Now for the front, the upper pieces, what I've done is I've cut 2 of these pieces, which are, if I put them on a darker background, you'll be able to see better, and then I'll measure them for you. So I've cut 2 of these pieces. Again, I've slightly curved them in the shape of the waistline, and I've cut these slightly bigger than what I wanted them. So it's 4.5 inches by 7 inches on the one side, and then on the inner side is 8 inches. So it's got a slight bit of a curve, 8 inches there, 7 inches there, slightly shaped on the waistline, and the measurement there is 4.5-5 inches. So that measurement and that measurement is the same, and basically what that piece is going to be is it's going to sit over here, and you need 2 of them. Okay, so one is going to come on either side, so like that. We've got one sitting on the one side and one sitting on the other side, and then we've got a piece which is now I've taken this as a floral piece, so that the floral comes right in the center, and this is going to be like above the 2 pieces that in the end they're going to be all connected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this and then connect it to the base, which is going to be the lining. So I've got 2 identical linings, and then I've got, with this I've got 2 pieces which I'm going to be making into the shoulder straps, which are going to go here, and this I'm going to shape into the shape of the neckline. So this piece, which is going to be above the shoulder area, sort of like the neckline piece, this is folded in double, and it's cut with a little bit of a curvature for the sleeve. I've cut this quite precise, so I'm going to be, this is like a front upper chest area, and the width of this is 6.5 inches. The height of this is 3.25 inches. For the sleeve I've cut a further inch across, and then going up 3 inches, and then I've slightly shaped it down to 5 inches. So opened up, you've got a width of 13 inches by 13 inches, and the center of that is 5 inches, and then here I've slightly curved it a little bit. So this is going to be, I'm going to be making these into the shoulder straps. So I'm just going to do like a straight seam there. I'm going to put a slight bit of gathers there, and then attach that to that, and then hopefully line that upper area, and I'll guide you as I'm going along with the sewing. I'll sort of like give you a little bit of guidance. Now the other thing that we want is these two pieces on either side, and it's got a central piece which is an empty piece. So this is the central piece which is going to be attached over here in the center, and in this we're going to have like a decorative thing, which this one is crossed over, and I'm going to be putting loops in this. And as I put the loops, I will be sort of showing you and hopefully guiding you on what we're going to do. So, and that's the center empty bit inside of this. You just need basically an empty plain piece. So that's Inaya's, and then I'll show you the main part of this. Then the other part to this is the skirt part. So this is just a straight piece of fabric, which is approximately 2 yards in length. And now the fabric itself I'm using is a leftover dupatta from a very long time ago. So the length of this I've made it's about 2 yards in width and about 19 inches in length, and then I've cut lining almost identical, a little bit less in width because I'll just put a little bit less gathers in this. Length I've kept it just slightly a little bit shorter than the upper portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these two up, you know, add the gathers and connect these two up, and that's going to be the skirt and the lining. Once I've finished the upper portion, I'm just going to attach them on. So these are Inaya's, and then we're going to go on to cutting something for baby Annabelle. So I'm going to try and complete this one first, and then we're going to try and replicate this for a doll's size, inshallah.